So, hi, Christina. I am so happy to
Hey.
have you. And thank you so much for being with us and sharing your journey. Just want to start with just you introducing yourself and telling us what you do and what brought you to NLW.
Yeah, no, I'm so glad you guys contacted me. So I'm Christina. I'm an infectious diseases doctor. I'm also a medical director for a team at my hospital. And actually, it is exactly that. That second part of the job, the medical director part, that led me to next level wardrobe because I needed to level up in order to look and feel and be a medical director for my team. So I
Mm,
was just really glad that there was someone out there to help me get to that place.
yeah, well, thank you for sharing. And can you describe your style kind of like before and after and what words come to mind?
Yeah, I thought a lot about this before I even reached out to you guys because I was trying to figure out what it was that made me kind of frustrated with my style at the time. And I would say that word is stuck. I felt like I was really stuck wearing the same things or kind of stuck wearing a very specific. I remember I had told you I just had like a lot of black.
Mhm.
It just didn't, and it also felt like I was very stuck in a very specific time in my life, like before this new job change, before this promotion. And I didn't want to feel stuck because the rest of my life was moving forward. I wanted to feel like my wardrobe reflected that. And I do feel like it does now because I would say, like, if someone were to ask me how I feel about my wardrobe now, like you just did, I'd say it feels colorful or it feels impactful. I would say, yeah,
Mm.
impactful.
Oh, I love that.
Impactful.
Yeah, I love it. Love it. And what made you come to Next Level Wardrobe? Like, what made you make the decision? Did anything before? Any research? Tell us.
Oh my gosh. What didn't I try before? And honestly, that's really what made me decide like I would love to get someone to help me on like in a professional capacity because this is a job that I'm really passionate about my work. I love what I do. And for me, having the privilege and the responsibility of taking like running a team, I really wanted to step up in a big way. And so I did try a lot to dress for the part. I tried kind of looking around the boardroom and seeing what other people wore, but like I look a little different. I'm a little younger than a lot of folks in the boardroom right now. So trying to dress for someone who's like, a decade or two older than myself doesn't really make a lot of sense. Also, I tried, just kind of buying what looked cool. I look at what other folks were wearing that I really admired in similar positions, but I didn't really think about what I would do with that piece of like clothing once I bought it. So,
Hmm.
it wasn't like for a lack of trying. I just didn't really know what to do. Oh, yeah. And of course, I tried a capsule wardrobe. I tried like creating a work uniform. Like, if there was something to be tried, I tried it. And that's like literally when I realized I was like, I've given it a really fair shot for the last like year and a half, and I'm not getting any closer. What is the harm of just trying something different and asking for help? And I'm super glad I did because it worked out.
Good, thank you. Oh yeah. And what was the thing that your favorite part or what stood out? What was the surprise of the journey? Because now you ended the journey, right? And so I want to kind of know, yeah, after that.
Hmm. I don't know if this is a surprise, but what really stood out to me was I think you and the team are just super, like the communication is top notch. And I feel like that is so important when somebody is about to undertake, because a wardrobe is such a personal thing, like your style is so personal. What you wear is like really personal. And there is a lot of like, understandably, a lot of thoughts go through your head. You could be worried, you could be excited, but you're going to be thinking and feeling a lot of things.
Yeah.
It was so helpful. And I felt like it was so reassuring to always get like clear, frequent, and consistent communication from you guys. Like, I will always remember, I like knew you guys were my people when I got a massive like Excel document and everything had categories. They were organized. Like, this is it. Like, this is to me, you can't ask for better. This is perfect because I'm like an Excel person. Like I love a spreadsheet. And I was like, this is what I need. And that kind of clarity kind of let me know. I was like, I can trust these guys. Like they're serious. They take this like they're taking like my needs and my requests like to heart. And that really helped me to kind of open my mind and just like fully enjoy the process. And that like helped hugely. And of course, like one other fun memory I remember was, and we kind of talked about this, like I was buying jeans and all I could ask myself, I was like, that's a lot of jeans. Like they all kind of look the same. Like, why am I buying so many pairs of jeans? But
Mhm.
it was, as you said, they all look the same, but they do not fit the same. They don't feel the same. And you might need them for different things. And we didn't keep all of them anyways,
Yeah.
but we kept the best ones. And I was not a jean person before, but I can tell you now, I'm wearing jeans at least like once or twice a week. So
Oh, awesome.
I'm a
Yeah.
changed woman now.
Convert it. No, I'm joking.
I no, for real though. I do like it was worth the effort. They made me rethink jeans. I was like, wait, jeans can be comfortable, like they can be
Mhm.
flattering. Like, I don't know why I ditched them. They're great.
Yeah.
I just
And that's
wasn't, I just didn't know how to fit them. I didn't know how to put them together. Now I know.
pants and definitely jeans are a scary category where like
Mm,
people love it or hate it or just like I don't want to have anything to do with it. Yeah, so
yes. That was before. No longer. No
no
longer.
longer.
But that was before.
I love it. I love it. I also, if I can share, I mean, I love the whole journey, of course, and I'm always so grateful to be part of it, and and thank you for the trust because it is a big leap of faith, and it's a lot of a lot of scary times before, at least I feel like. But I also loved you were always so prepared, organized, and like every fit session, I feel like we were just like I feel like we enjoyed each one they went to buy. And like we feel like you were enjoying the process even more. I was enjoying it with being with you. And I feel like we had like the ball gown moments where like
Oh, that was cool.
tried
That was cool.
you tried some beautiful like evening dresses and honestly
Mhm,
outfit. They were all beautiful. We decided on two. But like
mhm.
I just love seeing you see yourself in something that you
Yes.
probably haven't ever thought about it or tried and see yourself in a different way and be like also having the permission to be like, I can be fabulous in an evening dress. I would like to know from you, but like for me it was just like a moment and in jeans of course too. But like that was really what I was like, I love seeing you see yourself in a different way.
I think that is probably one of the biggest sort of like prizes I took out of this experience because I used to like, I love style. Like, we've talked a lot about it. Like, I do really actually enjoy clothes. I like patterns like this and all, and the act of like putting together a style or an outfit. But I used to really come from a place of thinking restrictively. It was like what you shouldn't wear, or like what I should avoid, or like I can't wear this. Like it's got to be very restricted in order to create a cohesive style or an outfit or like a look.
Mm,
But what I learned from this experience is there's probably a lot of things I really don't need to say no to. If anything, it's more about just like maybe say yes and try it, or like say yes and get it tailored. I think that was one thing I definitely took away because I realized I was saying no to a lot of, especially like we talked about pants or like tops,
mhm,
because I'm kind of petite and I was literally not looking at certain like clothes that I knew I liked the color, I knew I liked the fit, I knew I would need something like this, but I was literally like, well, it's too long, so in the sleeves, or like, oh, these pants are too long. But like tailors exist. And so I realized I was like, it's not about saying no, you can't. It's about, well, maybe it's yes, and let's see if
mhm,
this works for you. And there's so many different ways to make something work in terms of an outfit or a style, and freeing my mind about like what that can be. Like you said, like with like evening dresses, I used to have like no idea what to wear for those kind of things. And I'm like, oh, there's actually a ton of things. That's honestly been the best part. So now when I look at clothes, like I don't need to buy anything for a while, but my immediate thought is not, oh, like, well, that's not for me. Like, can't wear that. It's like, oh, like, how would I wear that? Like, if that were for me, how would I want to make that work? Or like, if I liked it enough, like, how would I style that? It's a totally different mindset. And
mhm,
I'm like much happier for it too.
mm. I love it. Thank you. And so what are the biggest changes? I mean, you kind of shared already, but like, what are the biggest things you notice? I love compliments, of course. I love selfies and all that, but tell me what are the things that for you, like the biggest changes?
I would definitely say the mindset is probably the biggest change. I think this, I would say like the other thing that's the biggest change is just the system for organizing my wardrobe. That's huge. Like it's so easy now to open up my closet and really quickly just kind of know what I have, know what can be put together in an outfit, and you're done, which is not, was not my prior experience. Like I keep an organized closet, but it was organized, but I wouldn't really know how to like look at or identify how to put things together. Again, like the system works is all I will say. The system works. I open my closet and there's no headache anymore. I like literally think it takes I would like want to say maybe 30 seconds at most to like look at
Oh,
everything
yeah.
and be like, okay, this, like we're going, we're done.
I love it.
So
I love it.
for those two things, like save me time, energy, I got peace, it's great.
Yeah, I love it. I
I'm
love
happy.
Yeah, I love it. And you also, I feel like you did share with me, and I hope I can say it. It's that there was a big meeting that came up, and I feel like
Yes.
wardrobe possibly was a part of being not looking forward to this meeting, and then
Mhm.
the wardrobe came around and the meeting came around, and so I'd love to hear from you. But I love that it was just it made me so warm to know about it. So
Oh, no, that was actually that was huge. I feel like there was so many parts along the way of us working together where I was like each time I was like, "Oh my God." I'm like having an aha moment. I'm like understanding a different way of thinking about this. Like we've talked about the whole time working with you was a blast.
thank you.
But there was, as you mentioned, like there was this meeting I'd had in the books for a long time with hospital leadership, and I was like really dreading it. And honestly, until we did like this work together, I had kind of made, or I had kind of led myself to believe it was a bunch of other things that made me a little bit nervous about this meeting. And like for the record, it wasn't even that big of a meeting. It was like a introductory like summary of what my team's been doing for the year kind of meeting, and like it was a very routine meeting too, but I
Mm,
was like I was dreading it, and I thought it was because I was like, oh, it's because I'm new, or like, oh, it's because it's taking a lot of time to like summarize things, and so I'm stressed about like finding time. No, once I actually like started looking at the outfits and I started wearing them, because like we got the wardrobe together before this meeting, like a month or so advance of that, I could literally feel myself feeling different when I walked around. I was like, yeah, I feel like I'm not just a physician, but like I'm a director, I'm a team leader. And I think that feeling really carried in a way that I did not expect into that meeting. I was like, I don't feel that worried or concerned about me being perceived as, a team leader. I'm not worried about if I'm being trusted to do this job. I'm not wondering if somebody is doubting me because I still look like I'm running around the hospital in like scrub looking clothes. Like I didn't realize that a lot of it was holding me back was this perception that like the way I dressed was still not to the level of the boardroom. And now it wasn't a concern. And it was crazy that that was really what was kind of holding me back. Like the skills were there, like the knowledge was there, but my mental image of myself looking and dressing and appearing like a leader wasn't. Nuts. What like a good pair of pants and like a good heel and like a nice professional top. Like it really, I was like, wow, yeah,
mm,
this really kind of took me all the way. And it was a great meeting. It was very like conversational, really positive. And I left and I remember telling you, I was like, I don't really even know looking back, like what I was so concerned about. But it was the clothes. Like if you can believe, like it's,
mm.
the clothes make the man, they say, like clothes make the woman too. Like it's for real.
It's the confidence, like when you walk, like when you feel confident, when you feel good, when you're comfortable, it's
Mm-hmm.
polished. It all translates in how we walk and how we enter a room and
Oh my
any,
gosh, yes.
and all of that. So yeah. Oh my God, thank you so much.
Totally. Totally, totally. And if you're able to walk in with confidence, it's like it kind of reminds you too, even when you have doubts, you're like, oh, I don't know if I can do this, or like, oh, I'm not sure if like, I'm like, living up to the standards I set for myself, sometimes it really does take that kind of mental and like visual note of like, you know what, at least I look the part. Like even on a bad day, like if I don't trust in my skills, at least I look like I can do this job. Thankfully that day I looked the part and I was the part. It was great. And
I love
yeah,
it.
like I will forever be thankful for that. That was huge.
Thank you. Well, thank you for sharing. I love it. And yeah. And we also like for you, I feel like we had a lot of like we found like a really polished and elevated look, but we also had fun with colors and prints and patterns. And I feel like we were really able to bring your some fun and some personality and like also like re enjoying the whole getting dressed part, like not so much.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, you know, we overthink or like we think about certain
Oh, yeah.
rules and we were like, no, we're gonna be colorful and polished and amazing and
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, you can still have a personality at that level of leadership. Like growing up or kind of taking your job and your professional persona to the next level does not mean, because I remember telling you this, you're like, I don't want a bunch of black suits. Like, don't put me in a bunch of black suits. And we did not do that at all.
No
Like,
black
not even
suits at all.
close. No, not at all. And it's been the best because I get to still feel professional when I need to walk into those meetings, but I also feel like the most professional version of me. Like I still feel like I'm me. I'm not like in a costume trying to look like everybody else. I get to show up as me and like just truly let like my skills and my knowledge do the talking instead of wondering the whole time like does anybody notice that like I don't like what I'm wearing, like I don't fit, or like this is not like I look like I'm uncomfortable. I don't worry about that anymore, like at all.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you. Thank you so much,
Yo,
Christina. It was such a pleasure all
thank
throughout. And thank you also for
you.
sharing this. I know this is as we ended the journey, I love to have a reason to catch up anyway. So
Yes. No, of course.
thank you
It's
again.
always good.
Yeah, thank you
Anytime.
again so much. Have an amazing holiday season, and I hope we'll talk soon. And
Oh,
take
of course. No, when I'm next time in New York, I'll hit you up for
please, you have to. Yes, and send me
I
if you have any
will.
photos. Send me photos too. You know that I love photos.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, you guys are the best. Like, was just such a blast to work with you guys. Can't say enough to anybody who's watching. If you're wondering, just ask. Like, just ask. It's worth it. That's all I did, you know. And I'm so glad I did.
Yeah. Thank you again so much. Have a great
Anytime.
day.
You
Take
too. Take
care.
care.
Bye
Bye.
bye.